Alright guys, how's it going this evening? It's been a bitch of a day trying to get anything fucking done because it keeps fucking raining. And then, yeah, let me put this away quick. So yeah, I just got done counting all these bales. So I got to pick up some twine now. But I'm gonna worry about the little things. But yeah, there's a grand total of 88 bales left here for the young guy, but there's two baby bales, and if you don't include them, well, then it's 86, I guess, or something like that. So, and I don't know if I mean, I'm not done. I'm done here at our place, but I don't know if I want to talk to the young guy or not and see. If he wants me to continue on or just say fuck it. Because that dual there that I put on actually is leaking a little bit of air. It was at 23 pounds for a couple days. I checked it this morning. It was down to 21. So it's not a horrible leak. But she'll probably be flat by winter. So I guess what I'm going to have to do to keep that dual alive, well, I got two options. One, I can, during the winter months, plug the tractor in whenever it gets to certain pounds, take it to my shop, and then use my air compressor. I'm going to have to regardless, but I might have to, should probably try to make some kind of a portable system too, so I can take it to the farm whenever, but I haven't done that yet. Or get one of those battery operated sons of bitches, but they're hellish expensive. I thought about maybe getting an air tank. That would save me the trouble of having to plug in the tractor and having to drive it over to my place all the time to put air in that tire. My uncle has an air tank, but his leaks, so by the time you get 20 pounds in the tank, once you get 20 pounds in the tank, by the time you get to the house or back to the farm, you're down to probably like 15 or 10, so you don't get to haul a lot of air in his tanks. I thought he had two of them, but I think the other one crapped out, and this one here is on the verge of crapping out too. So, I tell you, it's been a nightmare though. I never did finish that one night when I made that video, point of view video. Yeah, I just never got to finish. And then I came out around 1 today because they were again threatening storms, which, yeah, we got fucked again by another, I don't want to say a half inch, because I think my rain gauge has rain from the other rains that we've had over the last couple days. So between this rain and then a few other rains before that, we have about a half inch of rain in total over the last few days. I didn't even know if I was going to get out here today or not, because I didn't know if the ground would firm up enough. It kind of did. It's still a little moist, but I want to get done. I got to move on. So, yeah, this field's done. I might call the young guy tomorrow, see if he wants me to continue on or just say fuck it. See, my uncle's hoping that by stacking up these bales that maybe he'll give us some more as like a payment, because that's how I get paid for moving his bales over here. I don't know if that goes for everything or just here, but he'll give us usually a few extras, you know, for putting up his hay. He's offered to pay me in cash and diesel fuel and, you know, all the good stuff, but I just usually just take the bales as payment because I know that we need them more than we do the like diesel fuel. Yeah, we could use the cash more too, but we kind of could just use the bales. And we got 60 in the yard, so I actually need to do the math. 60 plus 88, whatever that is. I can't do it off the top of my head, so I'm going to try, but I'll do it on my phone afterwards. Just to see how many bales we got off our land together, or, you know, when all said and done. Because the bale counter got fucked up and they didn't know how many bales are actually here. But there's more than here, I think, because I have more piles. Now, I did make these piles a little bit shorter. I think only by like 4 bales, but the problem is that when you get them way down there, well, one, we're already getting kind of close to the limit, because he doesn't want me down in the low spots, obviously, and I don't want to put bales way down there anyway, because then you got to truck them so far out. So yeah, so I stop kind of right when the hill starts to dip down like that. You can see it on the camera how it dips down a little bit. Well, that's a low spot, and you know, if it ever flooded or something, or got a lot of heavy rain, that's the first place that's going to flood. So the young guy said to keep the bales out of there out of all costs. So, and that's what I did. So but yeah, I'll probably call the young guy tomorrow or something. I'm getting kind of a headache, so yeah. And then I would have been done earlier today, like around, because I started around 1. There comes the sun now. I started around 1, and of course, you know, it takes me probably half an hour to even get going. So half an hour of fucking around, and then I'm just, you know, minding my own business, hauling hay. Mother is screaming on the CB because when we're in this thing in the 15, we'll switch over to CB radios, because I have a CB in that, and obviously I got one at the house. So we switch over to that when I know we're going to be in that. But then if I'm going to be, I guess, like in the Tahoe or anything else that doesn't have a CB, well, then we'll switch over to those stupid handhelds. But getting a CB in the Tahoe is going to be sometime this winter, I guess. Because it needs to get done. So, and I have a hard time hearing Mother in that thing too. So I had to really listen. So, but I had to stop hauling hay. I've only moved probably like 3 fucking bales. She's screaming bloody murder on the damn radio, saying, "Get your ass back here, because we gotta make a run to the bank, because we fucked up on our math." And I wrote a check out to somebody. Who the hell was it now? It was somebody, I forget now, but I wrote him out a check, and then Mother did the math again, and she's like, "We're going to be $2 short, and even if you overdraft by $1, and if you don't put money back into your account, well, then they charge you every fucking day like $15, which is ridiculous, because you made a a little slight mistake, you know, and you get fucked over. So had to fucking stop doing that, hauling hay, just to put more money in my bank account. But luckily, Mother, she's been collecting change over the last year or whatever, and I told them just to put that into my account, so I'll have plenty of money there. I was only $2 short, but the bank will fuck you over if you get overdrafted and you don't pay it, because like I said, they charge you $15 a day for not paying, you know, because they overdraft, right? So but yeah, whatever, just a typical mistake, you know. Not everybody's perfect, but we do our damnedest to make sure. But man, we've been fucking sick the last few days. I got fucking sick, and then Mother's sick. I think she's kind of somewhat starting to get over it now, but I think the reason why we got fucked up on the money problem was because she was sick and she wasn't really paying attention all that well. But she said that she did it 11 different times, and it always came back the same, saying that there was going to be plenty in there, because we always like to leave a little bit extra in there just to make sure that we don't, you know, obviously overdraft or whatever, right? So, but yeah, just ended up being a nightmare. And then, like I said, they were talking storms. They came a little bit earlier than they were saying. They said 4:30. They got here at like 3:30. That's when I was on the road coming home. So I drove in a little bit of that, but it wasn't horrible. They were threatening hail, but I didn't see no hail out of it. Just a couple of good bursts of heavy rain, and that was kind of it. But it was enough to shut you down on moving bales. I'm probably redlining it now. But tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny, I think, and no rain. But I'll call the young guy and see what he thinks, if he wants me to continue on or just say fuck it. But my uncle wants to get more hay, which I don't know if we really need it, because 60 bales is usually enough. We had 60 bales last year and it got us through pretty good. So, you know, but I don't know. So, but I'll talk to the young guy tomorrow about it, and whatever. And if he decides to pay me in bales or whatever, that's fine. We probably won't get too many more, but even if it's just 4 or 5, whatever he wants to give us as a payment, well then that's fine. I don't know what we're gonna do with those baby bales. That's what, I mean, I guess the young guy would take them, but usually we take them. But my uncle didn't seem too interested in them, because they are kind of just, they're not really meant for anything. They're not really gonna last. You know, you'll get maybe a day out of them, and that's it. So, but a day's better than nothing. But he didn't sound too interested in taking them, so I said, well, if you're not screaming bloody murder saying take them, I ain't taking them. I'll let the young guy decide that then when he comes to get his bales. Sometimes what happens too, I think the last couple of years has actually kind of worked out in our favor, but well, because we never get, you know, an accurate number of bales. You know, it's always kind of miscellaneous, obviously. But sometimes he's left with, I think last year he got left with 2 bales down here. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna come back to get them with anything. He didn't sound too interested in coming back for just 2 bales, so he gave them to us. So sometimes we'll get lucky in that regard too, and we'll get a couple extra bales, which is nice. You know, if it saves him the trouble of having to truck them, come all the way back up here and piss around with them, well, then that's fine. We'll take them. But I'm not going to move any more bales tonight. I got a headache. I got a headache coming on, and I'm done. It's been just another frustrating day. You know, tomorrow might be better. I probably won't get that cemetery field done, but if I could at least, you know, if I could get it started, that'll be up to the young guy. But bales are kind of wet, but obviously it rained, so that'll be up to him if he wants me to or not. Been popping a lot of damn twine because it's all garbage. So, but yeah, I think I've never had. I don't think we've ever had 88 bales sitting here. And like I said, we got more rows. This right here is a half a row, obviously because I didn't have enough to finish. But oh, I missed the twine. So, man, I missed the twine all over the freaking place. So, I guess I didn't walk this side. But, yeah. I don't know. And then, I about had a fucking heart attack. You know. Well, this is a 16-minute video, so probably about 30 minutes ago. I heard this, I was traveling back to get that last bale out there. Like, it was way in the freaking corner of the property. And, I heard this massive bang. I thought, oh, great. I probably, you know, and it sounded like it was in the transmission. So I thought, oh, great. Did I lose a gear or something? Or did something blow up, you know? But then, I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind, the very first thing that came to my mind was, oh, fuck, did the dual pop off? You know, did it break off or something stupid like that? Because, you know, I have just that kind of luck that I know that probably would happen. But I checked the dual was fine. It's still attached. I don't notice any bolts broken or anything. But then I kind of, quickly after, it kind of sounded like maybe it was in the transmission. So I checked it out. Like, I went through all the gears and everything seems fine. The clutch still seems to be working. So it can't be a clutch problem. So then I slammed on the brakes and the clutch, grinding to a halt because I didn't know what it was. And then I got out to take a look. And then I noticed that there was this big giant stick laying right where I drove over it, right where I drove. So I'm thinking what happened was that one of those tires picked up that stick and smacked it against the tractor. Either it smacked the cab, the fender, or the transmission. But you don't think that you would hear such a loud bang with just a stick. But I mean, that stick was at least an inch thick. But to hear that kind of a bang, I don't know. But I just figured it was probably that damn stick. I probably figured, maybe it got caught up in the dual or something, you know, and then it just got flung around and smacked something. But then, so yeah, had a heart attack for a minute, and then went on my merry way. Managed to finish without nothing else fucking breaking. So, but yeah, it's definitely been one of those days. So, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but kind of just is what it is, I guess. But yeah, so done. So, like I said, we have these two baby bales, which I don't know what to do with. So I guess they're the young guy's problem until he says otherwise. They were over in the corner by the dike, because that's where I put them, because I wasn't sure what to do with them. I didn't know if my uncle would take them or if we're just going to leave them out here. But since my uncle didn't say anything, I guess we're not taking them. So, but if the young guy don't want to take them, well, then he can leave them in the yard and we'll take them. But for now, we'll just let it be, unless he says something, because I'm sure he knows that they're down here. But I just, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, the hydraulic leak stopped on the tractor. A piece of wood in that bale. Well, they don't want that. So, but I'm not really sure what was going on, but my uncle thinks that maybe it was just because we had it jacked up on that funny angle. Maybe there's a slight crack there, or a leak or something, or hole, or whatever, I don't know, and maybe it was leaking it out. But I don't know, it stopped now. So, but I don't have any more hydraulic oil either. So whenever she runs dry, I guess she runs dry. There's not much more I can do about it. So but yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Well, I got the, like I said, I guess we got, well, like I said, this is half of a row. So I don't know if you want to count that as a full row or not, but I've never had this many rows here, but I think again because we have more hay here this year. So there's one. That's, well, half of one. I don't know. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4.5 rows. It always seems like there's more. 1, 2, 3. No, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4.5 rows. And we've never had them that many here. So this hay obviously must have did. Well, dirty again. So the field obviously must have did pretty good then this year. So I guess, I mean, I'm not complaining because we got decent hay. I mean, we got the 60 bales that we needed, but my uncle kind of wants more. But I think he's just getting kind of greedy. But you know what? I think that's usually what happens anyway. If I move hay for the young guy, at least down here anyway, then he'll give me a little bit extra, you know, like I said, as a payment. He's offered, well, he says it's up to me, but he's offered, you know, money, diesel fuel, and then hay. And I usually just always take the hay because that's usually what we need the most. I don't really need the money. And yeah, it would be nice to get some diesel fuel, but we don't really need diesel fuel either, because whatever's left in that tractor is going to last me the rest of the year. That back tank is pretty much empty. I can't believe I burned the whole fucking tank. I mean, there's still some in there, but it's getting down now. So, all that's left now is, like I said, I gotta talk to the young guy and I guess see what he wants to do from there. There's the cemetery field, which is just right over there. And then I got that ditch field, which is at the east side of town. And then there's that one field on the North Dakota side, just over the river. And then it's underneath the bridge there, but there ain't very many bales there, so that'll probably end up being very last thing that I do there. And then plus, it just got done fucking raining, so that trail that goes through there is going to be mud. Again, that's going to be probably like the last thing I get done. And then it might even be a couple of weeks, because it was that way last year too when I had to do it. It took me over a week to finally get in there to round up those bales. But since it, you know, then like I said, it took over a week for it to dry out, and then we kept getting little spits here and there, and then it kind of ruined it. So, but then I managed to get in there, you know, and get it done, and then get out. But there's going to be less hay for me to deal with, because all that other ground that's on the North Dakota side there, that's all fucking CRP ground. You can only cut that every 3 years. So he's got 2 more years to wait before he can cut it again. So, but it's nice ground though. Like, it's nice big open fields pretty much like this, which is what I like too. But I don't mind the little ones. The young guy don't like them, but I have no problem with them. I'd do them. I'd cut them, bale them, and take the hay off them, and then be done with it. So, yeah. So anyways, I guess I'm going to go. I want to count those, you know, count the 60 plus the 88 down here and see what the grand total is, and maybe I'll put it in the video if I don't forget. If I do forget, you guys can just holler in the comment section and be like, what's the grand total, bitch? You know, so, but yeah, we're definitely over 100, that's for sure, which is what I love to see. So, but yeah, if we would have gotten that rain, all this fucking rain like we're getting now, if we would have gotten that back in June, I honestly think this hay would have grew at least 6 inches more than what it did this year. And then the hay would have been even better. We probably would have gotten an extra 5 to 10 bales off this field. But I don't know. But it kind of sucks, because you know what? Now haying season's, well, for baling it anyway, it's pretty much done. And then that means fucking winter's coming. So this bale's a little crooked. Oh, I didn't bale it, so. But yeah, I don't know. Guess you can't complain too bad, especially for, you know, having kind of a drought month, you know, back in June. The hay did all right. It did pretty good, actually. So I'm kind of blown away by that. So, and then that 12-acre piece over there, because they cut that different, you know, well, they cut it all one big piece, so it's kind of hard to really get an accurate number off that field. But there's 15 bales out of that. I think last year we only got 10. So an extra 5, you know, that's pretty fucking good. I just don't know if I'm ever going to be a big fan of this grass, because this grass isn't, like, it's good stuff, like the cows don't complain about it, but we need more bales. We need more tonnage. That's what we need. So I think if alfalfa would have went in, I think we would have had 100 bales out of that little tiny fucking piece. Because that probably wouldn't be on one cutting, but you know, that would be on probably 2 or 3 cuttings at least. But I don't know. I guess overall, I'm not going to complain too bad, because it's been a hell of a year. I mean, one breakdown after fucking another. But I guess, you know, everybody's good luck runs out eventually, I guess. So, but yeah, it just sucks that I have to run that freaking dual, because that dual is kind of, it's iffy as well. Like I said, it's got a lot of cracks in it, but they're smaller cracks. And it does leak air, because it's down to 21 PSI when I had it up to 23.5. So I'll probably check it tomorrow. I mean, it obviously takes quite a while for it to leak. I mean, because I don't know, how long have we had that dual on now? Probably a week or so, and it went from 23.5 to 21. So I mean, it's obviously a slow leak, but the problem is I can't have any leaks even in the wintertime, because how am I ever gonna put air in it, you know? That's the question now, is what am I gonna do in the winter months? Because I gotta be able to put air in it. So there's only really two options. One, I drive it to my place whenever it gets to a certain level that I'm not happy with it, so, you know, like 15 psi or something. Put the air compressor in the house for a couple of hours, let it unthaw, because you can do that. I've done it in the past. Because my air compressor won't start in the wintertime. It has to be in the house for at least an hour, unthaw it, and then run it, and then it'll be fine until you shut it off. So, but from there, I mean, I'd have to probably do that, probably once a month. And yeah, I do start that tractor once a month. I never started it at all last year. I just didn't think it was necessary, and we weren't really using it, and now we can't use it, period, for feeding. You know, if we had to put bales out, but we got the pig up in the Tahoe. But my uncle's figured out, though, how to get the 400 to start a little bit better in the wintertime. He actually has a heat gun now, like I do. And he says that if you take that heat gun and stick it in the carburetor, like the air intake side of it, and you let it bake for maybe 30 minutes to an hour or something like that, probably not even that. He says if you crank it, it'll spit and sputter a little bit, but he says it fires right up and goes. So he says all you gotta do is plug it in, you know, the engine block like you normally would for a few hours, and then when you're down to that last hour or so or whatever, he says then he puts the heat gun on it, and then yeah, it works. We did that to the Pontiac, not last year, but I think the year before, because it was like minus 40 out or even colder, and the Pontiac didn't want to start, but we had to go somewhere. But it wouldn't start, and we didn't think that the block heater was working, but come to find out it is still working. I guess it just takes a while, but we put my heat gun on it, on the air intake side, let it go for 20 minutes, and then it spit and sputtered, but then it fired right up and it ran. It was very smoky, but that's to be expected when you're fucking freezing and you gotta be woken up. So I don't know, but guys, I guess I'm probably gonna take off. I don't know if I'll call the young guy or not tonight. I doubt it, but maybe tomorrow. And then I'm gonna do the math first and see how many bales we got in total, and then from there we'll take it from there. So see what the young guy thinks, and then yeah. So, but I tell you what, though, I think next year, even if I get that tire replaced, I think I'm putting that fucking dual back on it, because you know what, it's definitely a lot smoother of a ride. Even though that's not the dual that I want on, but it's the best dual that we have, so we'll keep rocking in that until that pops. So, but yeah. Anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off, so I guess I'll have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.